Honorable Machogu, welcome to this committee. These are your colleagues. You are with them in the last parliament, I have no doubt. And you, as we'll introduce, you'll find they're all people you've worked with. This is a committee of the National Assembly, founded in standing orders in the law and in the Constitution, to vet or conduct confirmation hearings on all nominees for cabinet positions. The idea is to find your suitability or otherwise to hold office that His Excellency has nominated you to as a minister. We'll engage with you in a manner that is cordial but firm. Members will ask you questions. You are obliged to answer all of them. No direct communication or altercation with members, everything through the chair. Even members will ask you questions through the chair. And at the end of these preliminaries, the committee will give you 10 minutes to tell us the story of your life. Who is Ezekiel Machogu? Up to where you're sitting, and then we'll ask you questions leading to the eventual conclusion on your suitability or otherwise. At the end of the proceedings, we'll give you 3 minutes to recap by telling us your wish. This committee is chaired by the Speaker of the National Assembly. Yours truly here, Senator Moses Wetangula. We have members who will introduce themselves for purposes of the Hansard, starting with the Deputy Speaker.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mbaki, and congratulations on your nomination for the position of Cabinet Secretary for Education. My name is Gladys Boss, member for Uasin Gishu County and Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Karibu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Kimani Ichung'wah, Member of Parliament for Kikuyu. And Honorable Speaker, I have known Honorable Machogu since I was in primary school when he served as a young district officer in Kikuyu. He may not have known me, but I knew him as my DO when I was in class 3.
Thank you. My name is Opio and I, MP Ugunja.
Thank you. My name is Owen Bai, MP Kilifi North.
Yeah, my name is Robert Mbuye, MP Kadhiani.
My name is Rehab Mukami, County MP, Nyeri, and I hear you served in Nyeri.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. My name is George Gitonga Murugara, MP Tharaka Nithi County. No idea whether you actually went there.
Thank you. Honorable Machogu, you know me, Honorable Kosi, yes. MP Poko South.
Thank you.
Abdul Rahim Daud, MP for Northern Menti, and I don't have a recollection of seeing you in Meru.
Honorable Mishimboko, MP Likoni.
Good afternoon, Caleb Amisi, MP Sabot.
Thank you.
Dido Raso, MP Saku.
Abdi Shurie, MP Balambala.
Mmase Mary, MP Teso South. No interest to declare.
Naisula Lesuda, MP Samburu West.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have also the clerk of the National Assembly, represented by Madam Florence. You'll introduce your team.
Sitting in for the clerk, I'm Florence Atenyo Abonyo, Director, Audit, Appropriations and other select committees. With me is Deputy Director, Legal Services, Mr. Michael Karuru to my left, and behind him is a team of officers in the committee secretariat.
Bwana Machogu, I'll ask you a few questions, and as we start, you can see the clock. We want to engage you in 90 minutes, so we want the prudent use of time. Questions, we insist, must be precise and concise. The answers should not be any different, should also be concise and precise. Don't volunteer what you have not been asked, and don't withhold what has been asked, so that we can make good progress. I'll ask you a few issues regarding your documentation. Have you sent us your clearance with the tax obligations to the state? That's KRA, tax compliance.
Yes, Honorable Chairman.
And when we finish the tabulation, if you have sent us copies, the clerks will look at the originals in your possession. Clearance with the Higher Education Loans Board.
Yes, Honorable Chairman.
Clearance with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Yes, Honorable Chairman.
Certificate of Good Conduct from the DCI.
Yes, Honorable Chairman.
Have you ever been charged in a court of law and convicted of any offense?
No, Honorable Chairman.
Have you ever been adversely mentioned in any investigatory report of a parliamentary committee?
No, Honorable Chairman.
Or commission? Are you a dual citizen of any sovereign apart from being a citizen of Kenya?
No, I'm under Kenyan.
You will, apart from your documents, also show the clerks your original identity card. At a personal level, what is your financial net worth?
590 million, Honorable Chairman.
How is it made up?
I have buildings in Nairobi, 3 buildings in Eastlands, specifically Chogo Road. I have another building in Pangan area. I have a building, an apartment in Mirimani. I have an apartment at Kerereswa and another one at near Yaya Center. Chairman, I also have an apartment in Mombasa, Sansu area. I also have apartments at Ngong. I also have a piece of land which is rightly over quarter acre, where there's a car passer along Ngong Road. I also own a plot, is not built yet in Kisii town. I also have 30 acres of land in Kisii. It's 590. I own vehicles. I own a Mercedes Benz and a V8. Yes.
They're all within the 590 million?
Yes, Honorable Chairman.
Okay. Now we'll open the conversation with you by starting with yourself. 10 minutes or less. Tell us your story.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman, plus the honorable members, for this wonderful opportunity. I'm Ezekiel Machogo Mbaki. Mbaki is a Christian, married with 5 adult children. I was born in Kisii, and I went to a primary school in Kisii before proceeding to Nduru Secondary School, which is within Kisii County. And upon successfully completing my Form 4 O-levels, I went to Agoro Sare High School, which is in Nominee County. In Nominee, in Agoro Sare, I did my A-levels before getting admitted to the University of Nairobi in the year 1976, and I did complete my Bachelor of Arts degree in 1979. And after completing my degree in the University of Nairobi, I was employed as a civil servant, and specifically as a district officer. I was posted to Nyeri, Central Province, and then from there I was posted to Nyandarua. I worked in Nyandarua DC's office, and then after that, I was transferred to Tetu Division in Nyeri District. That time they were known as districts, Honorable Chairman, currently known as counties. After that, again, I was transferred back to Nyandarua, Northern Division, where again I worked until the time when I was transferred to Kiambu, Kikuyu Division. I worked in Kikuyu Division, and then I was also transferred to Kirinyaga in a division known as Gichugu. After that, Honorable Chairman, I was again transferred back to Kikuyu, and after Kikuyu, I was transferred to the Greater Rift Valley, where I worked in the Provincial Commissioner's Office, and then I worked as District Officer 1, Nandi District, and then from Nandi, I was transferred to Naivasha Sub-District. After Naivasha, Honorable Chairman and Honorable Members, I was promoted to the rank of a District Commissioner, Nyandarua District. So again, I went back to Nyandarua as District Commissioner. I served in Nyandarua as District Commissioner for 7 years before again I was transferred in the same capacity as District Commissioner Busia. After Busia, I was transferred to Deputy Provincial Commissioner Coast Province. After Coast Province, again, I was transferred to Wajir District, and after which I was also transferred to central government. In the central government, I served in many ministries, among them Public Service Commission. I also served in Northern Kenya and the other arid lands. I served in the then Ministry of Commerce, Tourism, and East African Affairs as Senior Deputy Secretary. And finally, I served as Senior Deputy Secretary, Minister of Trade, before retiring in October 2016. After that, Honorable Chairman and Honorable Members, the good people of Nyaribari Masaba gave me an opportunity to serve them as their member of Parliament, which I served from 2017 up to 2022. I would like to inform the members and the Honorable Chair that India, Mauritius, and Tunisia. And Chairman and honorable members, during my tenure in civil service, I would like to give few examples. I cannot be able to mention each and everything that I was able to do directly as an officer. When I was District Officer Kikuyu, during that time, the then President was putting up a school known as Moi Girls Kamangu, and actually I supervised the construction of that school. I remember the then Provincial Commissioner Nairobi was known as Fred Waigancho, used to get money. It was like the crack of wax, getting materials and ensuring that the work was done, and also expediting payment. When I worked in Nyandarua as District Officer, Northern Division, which was covering Orichoro Rock and Ndarawa, Nyandarua then was actually entirely a settlement area, and it was during that particular time, Chairman, that we were settling people from all parts of the country, and mainly from central Kenya. There were no schools, so I acted as a catalyst. Together with other stakeholders, the local leaders, we were able to put up the necessary infrastructural facilities, and particularly schools when I served as district officer in Orichoro Rock. And also when I served as district commissioner Nyandarua, Honorable Chairman and the members, you will remember that during the 7-year period that I served, Nyandarua was #1 nationally for those 7 years, because I was able to work very, very closely with the other stakeholders, which made it possible for us to have #1 countrywide for the 7 years. Actually, in 1993, I was given a trophy by the then president as being the best overall district commissioner in the country in mothers' education and also spearheading development. When I went to Busia, the educational standards were not that impressive. Again, with other government officers in the Department of Education, we worked, and Busia, which was being ranked 37 that time, was able to improve to position 16. I served as chairman of Board of Governors, what we now call Board of Management, in many schools. Among them was Nyandarua. The other one was when I served in Wajir. I was also the chairman of Board of Governors in Wajir. I also served as a Board of Governor chair in a school known as Mesavisavi, chair which I think out of my personal initiative and efforts, we were able to improve the mini score from around 2 to almost 6. I've also served as the chairman of District Education Board when I served as District Commissioner, because during that particular time, the Education Act empowered and made it possible for District Commissioners to chair all matters in the district, and one of them was mothers' education. Honorable Chair, in the Ministry of Northern Kenya and other arid lands, because I was deputizing the permanent secretary, because during that time they were known as permanent secretary, not principal secretaries. I remember that among the other duties we did was supporting infrastructural development in areas like Northern Kenya and other arid lands. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ezekiel. That is a very rich history. You were rotated around the country quite a bit, so you know Kenya very well.
Thank you.